The multi-trillion-dollar agreement that Donald Trump has recently signed is intended to funnel the entire amount into XRP, with a particular emphasis on American cryptocurrencies and the economy of the United States. At this point, you must have an understanding of the magnitude of the things that are in motion. The whole of the European Union has given its formal approval for a digital euro that was created on the XRP ledger and with assistance from Ripple. This is indeed a reality that has been validated, verified, and published by the Digital Euro Association, who emphasized this collaboration through the use of Ripple Labs as their partner and XRP ledger as the platform on which to construct the central bank digital currency, CBDC. This takes place at the same time that a number of other countries opted to do the same thing. For instance, examine BRICS. Indeed, BRICS, which is comprised of the countries of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has given the green light to a deal that coincides with Ripple's partnership to incorporate XRP into their digital payment CBDC project, which is set to be a major payment network that will facilitate payments across all of these nations and interconnect them to one centralized hub, which will be the Uribe Labs network and ecosystem, which is the entirety of the XRP ledger. And as a result, the cost of XRP is likely to increase by an astronomical amount. In reality, XRP is expected to reach a price of $297.89 in the span of 8 days. Are all of you aware of the scope of the discussion that we are having? Due to the fact that the present price of XRP has only just recently started to increase as anticipated. The market has increased by 20% at this moment, but we have only just begun because none of the topics that we are discussing take into consideration the enormous market that is valued at $654.39 trillion. This market is on the verge of being unlocked totally through the XRP ledger. In the event that 8 days from now, the expectation is going to be $297.89, you can only picture how much higher it will be. Once we are able to unlock the entire $654 trillion that is now stored on the XRP ledger with the assistance of Realfy, a large institution is going to be able to access all of this money. In addition, gentlemen, they aren't informing you about this because, as you can see, the cryptocurrency market has gone bankrupt, it has retraced, and then it has made a comeback. Because of this, we informed you from the beginning of the process that the price would be pumped up and that this was nothing more than an enormous market-controlled sell-off for major institutions such as JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and BlackRock to truly accumulate. We made sure to provide the material in a straightforward manner by utilizing all of the relevant facts and evidence that were available. As a result, those of you who have persevered are now grasping onto world prosperity. You would have been among the fortunate few who profited a significant amount of money from that dip if you had paid attention to this channel. Therefore, please ensure that you subscribe to the channel, that you leave a positive comment on the video, and that you distribute this content with others. However, pay particular attention to the events that are about to unfold. Concentrate your attention on the $300 price per XRP that is going to come to pass right before your own eyes in just 8 days' time, because this is something that is going to happen and individuals are going to earn millions of dollars from it. Realfy, a large institution that enables you to purchase real estate directly on the XRP ledger while simultaneously earning rewards for every payment that you make, will be the platform through which all of this will be accomplished. We are discussing the process of giving millions of users access. We are discussing the process of unleashing billions of trillions of cash in a huge $650 trillion market. And all of this will be taking place on the XRP ledger with the use of the genuine token. Indeed, the authentic token, the actual token, only has a maximum supply of 1 billion, which is quite low. This project, which is currently around 2 or 3 months old, is right in front of you. Taking all of this into consideration, we have seen an increase in the range of hundreds of thousands of %, and there is still so much more that can be accomplished. This thing that we have here has the potential to make us all millionaires. Picture yourself working on a project at 3 cents per hour and eventually advancing to a salary of $65,000. This is what the situation may evolve into, and I am telling the truth. Consider this statement made by a knowledgeable analyst who is pointing out that if only 1% of the $650 trillion market were to enter, the price of real token could potentially rise dramatically from 0.02 to 65,000. It is completely absurd, yet it is really logical. What you require is very enormous in scale. Do not possess any of the supply. As a result of the supply shock, the price is expected to skyrocket. Real token went from being worth 1/10 of a penny to being worth 3 cents in less than 3 months, so now it's not shocking either. As a result, we were able to see that repetition in the most literal sense of the word. Consequently, I went ahead and acquired a lovely Josie bag filled with authentic tokens. I firmly feel that this is going to have a tremendous impact on a great number of individuals because, once again, there is an insufficient level of demand for the enormous amount of inventory. That cost will be immediately reflected in the price that you are required to pay. On top of that, this is by far the most affordable time you will ever be able to receive. There is no way that you will be able to get any lower than this. This is an observation that we have been making. Do you not notice the pattern, everyone? Observe the pattern that is present here. We always end up ascending far further than we were previously when we make a minor adjustment, and it never goes back down to where it was. I am willing to wager that you encounter a tremendous amount of resistance. We are in the middle of doing that very thing. Following that, the cost will proceed to skyrocket. Once again, if we talk about the creation of generational wealth, we need to act immediately. Keep in mind that the actual token is resolving an issue that is worth multi-trillions of dollars. It can be found in the real-world asset sector. Each endeavor that is resolving an authentic issue that is concerned with real estate, that is genuinely under construction, and is listed on a central exchange, has market capitalizations in the billions. That is about equivalent to having a market capitalization of $200 billion and an average of $100 billion. There is absolutely no way that we are going to be able to afford to pay you after they manage to get us into a central exchange and use genuine tokens that have not even been listed on a single centralized market yet. The cost keeps increasing and has done so on a daily basis. And think about it. Think about the situation in which you had a real-time daily transaction volume of approximately $100,000. In that case, the price would need to skyrocket to the thousands of dollars because, once again, you would not have enough demand to actually accommodate it, or you would not have enough supply to accommodate the demand. Because there is such a high level of demand and such a low level of supply, the cost would need to skyrocket. Therefore, a big centralized exchange has been the subject of the announcement that has gone mad. We are discussing the fact that a real token will actually be listed on an exchange that is recognized all over the world for its centralized approach. The amount of money involved in our daily transactions totals $5 billion. Keep in mind that when the volume of transactions conducted in a single day reaches $100,000, a genuine token will actually surge and rise to, well, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Consider what a genuine token would be like if it were subjected to a $5 billion per day transaction volume. That would be an astronomical amount. The price would need to accommodate around 40 million people who would then be able to acquire rapid access to the real token, which means that they would all be able to make purchases. Those individuals have the capability to gather genuine token, and they will indeed gather genuine token. We are having this conversation because of this very reason. The price is likely to increase dramatically. In addition, this is scheduled to take place on the 5th of December, which means that we are just a week away from it. And therefore, today is the most inexpensive period that you will be able to obtain it. Although this is not financial advice, I still suggest that you conduct your own study. This is due to the fact that when accessibility becomes greater, there will be an increasing amount of demand, and the cost will be affected by this. After then, it is possible that you may be required to make a purchase at the price of 10 per real token or $100 per real token, rather than the 2 or 3 cents that it is currently at. And you should take this seriously because if you look at it now, you will see this. Real token support is being provided by a number of major institutions. RealFi, for instance, is a large institution, and these individuals are, once more, literally using the real token. On their website, they draw attention to it by scrolling all the way to the bottom, reward customers with every transaction, and they really talk about the actual token. And it demonstrates that you are truly able to purchase houses for millions of dollars directly using the real token. And this is only one of the many systems that they possess. This is for the purpose of purchasing genuine products. However, you are also able to utilize their blockchain-powered incentive system, which is also based on the genuine token. In reality, there are a great deal of rubies that are true, which is the enormous establishment that employs the genuine token. In actuality, this organization does indeed have a partnership with Rebel Labs, and it is a major development. And that actually makes a lot of sense because, once again, they are resolving a multi-trillion dollar problem, and they are moving all that money onto the XRP ledger by means of the real token. Therefore, once more, what we are witnessing is the unlocking of an enormous market. If your portfolio includes XRP, you must be interested in the real token project. Business is on the verge of making the retail average person a millionaire and billionaires out of the people who already have $1 million. This is due to the fact that when you become involved in something that is still relatively new, similar to purchasing Bitcoin when it was priced at $1, which was before many people were aware of it. However, after Bitcoin achieved the potential to be scaled, it skyrocketed to 120,000, and those who purchased Bitcoin at $1 became multimillionaires as a result. And the very same concept can be physically situated right in front of your face, the exact same opportunity that is physically there on the table in front of you. It is possible for the retail to increase by 2 cents or $300 over the course of a few days. As a result, new millionaires would be established. Everyone would become millionaires if the realtor were to do it. And gentlemen, it is possible that it will occur as a result of the tremendous demand that we are about to encounter before December 5th, which we are currently witnessing. And of course, as we approach nearer and nearer to the 5th of December, the cost is going to keep going up. As a result, the sooner that you are able to get in, the less expensive it will be for you to do so. And it is the thing that you need to be searching for. At this point, all of the links will be located down below in the explanation, but this chart is simply incredible, and this listing is even more tantalizing. Let us now return our attention to XRP, because as a result of this real token listing, XRP will inevitably experience a significant price impact. This is due to the fact that individuals will rush to utilize these instances. They will rush to utilize the genuine token, because real tokens are stored on the XRP ledger. XRP must also be utilized during the process, and XRP is burned during the process, which is extremely large. It's similar to getting 2 for the price of 1. However, it is apparent that XRP will most likely continue to thrive as well. The adoption of XRP for payments and the adoption of the real token for payment rewards and real estate will lead to the growth of 2 enormous markets for cryptocurrencies, which will result in a dramatic increase in their value. Real token, on the other hand, will likely see a far greater upward surge than XRP. This is due to the fact that it is still in its infancy and has a lower supply. However, XRP will still experience a large upward surge. Therefore, it is imperative to keep an eye on the market and to formulate your own judgments. You really must always conduct your own research, and I am not a financial expert, so this is not financial advice, just some thoughts. You have the responsibility of being committed to investigating initiatives that you believe will prove to be beneficial in terms of making decisions for yourself. And you are the one who makes that determination. Therefore, double check to ensure that you are subscribing, leaving a comment on the video, liking it, and sharing the channel. However, once again, you need to examine all of the links, carry out your own investigation, come to your own well-informed conclusion, and then truly take action based on that well-informed decision. All right? For the reason because you do not want to be the only person who claims, I wish I had gotten into this sooner. Yesterday, I would have been happy if I had invested in it because it is now at $50 today, but it was just 3 cents the day before. You do not want to be the kind of person who is that man. You wish to be the individual who made that decision, and then you are rewarded or whatever else may occur. However, you made the decision. That decision was yours to make. Due to the aforementioned circumstances, I will conclude the film at this point. Take a moment to ensure that you enjoy watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. I wish you all peace and look forward to seeing you again in the future.